Chazal interprets the verse in Shemá Yisrael, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. ואהבת את השם אלוקיך בכל לבביך, כל נפשך, כל מאודיך. And the first thing that we learn here is that, and you love God. You love God. So, the Tiferet Israel says that how can you actually show Hashem that you love Him? What do you tell Him? Hashem, I love you. There's plenty of people that dance immodestly on stage, telling Hashem, we love you. There's plenty of people that, while they're doing barbecue on Shabbat, saying, Hashem, we love you. They sing songs, mamash. There's songs with lyrics and of how much they love Hashem, while they're desecrating His name in public. I'm sure there's plenty of these people that go to the gay pride parades that Hashem is considering disgusting and a act of chilul Hashem, that say we love Hashem. They even wear a kippah with a rainbow, which is a symbol of their homosexuality. Oh. But if you ask them, do you love Hashem? They say, yeah, I love Hashem. What's the question? Why are you asking? They love Hashem. So the question is, how do we really show Hashem we love Him? Well, like we said, Hashem has a firstborn child, that's Israel, it's Am Israel, but He has the ones that are the best of the best. The best of the best. And the best of the best, the sages, told us exactly how do you show Hashem that you love Him? By causing other people to love Him. How do you cause other people to love God? By you yourself living such an exemplary life in all areas where they want to be like you and how you have a relationship with Hashem. You are not angry. I want to be not angry. You are confident. I want to be confident. You are happy. I want to be happy. You are all these good things. You're generous. I want to be generous. How did you do it? Well, you were born this way? No, I was born of a shah. I was born like all of you with just Yetzirah. When a person is born, they don't have Yetzirah Tov, Yetzirah. They don't have Yetzirah. They only get Yetzirah Tov at the Bar Mitzvah or Bat Mitzvah. That's why the Yetzirah is always stronger, because he's older, he's more experienced. So you're born Ra. So how did you become good? How do you do this? How do you do that? Hashem. He taught you? Yeah, He gave me a Torah. I read it. I did it. Psh, 1, 2, 3. Everything is good. Oh, I want to do that. That's good. That's loving Hashem. That's loving Hashem. Why? You make other people love Him. You make other people love Him by living a life like that. That's loving Hashem. Now, if you notice, in Parashat Vayetchanan, this very same place that everybody keeps mentioning every time we talk about Yirat Shamayim, fear of Hashem, is at least 1 or 2 people that send me an email. But yeah, you always talk about fear of Hashem, but I always remember in Shemá Yisrael, it says love Hashem. So why do we repeat love Hashem every day, at least twice a day? And you're saying fear Hashem all the time. So this is one of the best chidushim that I've had in a long time, that can show you something very simple. Now obviously the Torah didn't start with Shemá Yisrael. This is just a verse inside a parasha. Which parasha? Parashat Vayetchanan. Now this is chapter 6, verse 4 and 5 and so on. But if you look at before it, before we say Shemá Yisrael, we look at the context of what's being talked about. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling us in chapter 5, just a few verses before it. Chapter 5, verse 26. Mi ייתן והיה לבבם זה להם ליראה אותי ולשמור את כל מצוותיי כל הימים למען ייטב להם ולבניהם לעולם. Hashem is saying Who can assure that his heart should remain theirs to fear me and to observe all of my commandments all of their days, so that it should be good for them and their children forever? Hashem is telling them, who can be so sure if they don't go my way? But if they fear me and observe my mitzvot, they'll have endless benefit for them and for their children, in so many words. He doesn't say love me. He says v'liyir'aoti. Why yir'aoti? You go to fast forward to from 26 to 28. Again, why? Kol mitzvah v'achukim v'mishpatim. This is, you. If you follow all of the mitzvot, the laws, the judgments, you won't have any problem. You fast forward to verse 30. A few lines. If you look at this, it's all on one page. Lo tasu yaminu small. Don't move right or left. Meaning that once you have fear of me, you're going to follow my mitzvot. Once you have my mitzvot, you become based with a foundation of fear. You're not going to move right or left. You're not going to start creating your own religion. You're not going to start doing anything else. You have a good foundation. You fast forward to chapter 6, the very same chapter that we have, the Shemá Yisrael. It starts with verse 1. It doesn't start with verse 5. It starts with verse 1. It says, ללמד, וזאת המצווה, החוקים והמשפטים אשר ציווה אדוני אלוהיכם ללמד. These are the commandments, the decrees, the ordinances that Hashem, your God, commanded you to teach and to perform. So here, we've escalated another level. Now it's our job to publicize it, to teach it. Leman tira et Adonai. And the next verse says, why? Because you're going to fear Hashem. Again, it mentions fearing Hashem. And you're going to teach these mitzvot to benecha or ben benecha. You're going to teach these mitzvot for your son, to the son of your son. Kol yamei chayecha leman yarichun yamecha. You're going to teach these mitzvot to your sons and generation after generation, and this will make you have a long life, meaning you'll have olam haba. And then only after that, it says, ve'afta Hashem Elokecha. So here, the chidush, to summarize everything we just said, is first Hashem says, without having yirah, you can't be sure of anything. First, have a foundation of Yirat Shamayim. If you have Yirat Shamayim, then you're going to fulfill my mitzvot, my laws, my ordinances, and you're not going to go right or left. You're not going to create new laws to please people. You're not going to tell people, listen, this is allowed even though Chazal says no. This is allowed, this is even... You're not going to make anything like that. You're not going to go right or left. What it says is what it says. And after that, you're going to start teaching it. Teaching it to your wife, teaching it to your husband, teaching it to your kids, teaching it to your neighbors, teaching it to your friends, even teaching your enemies if you can. And because, why are you teaching it? You're teaching it because you have a foundation of Yirat Shamayim. You have a foundation of real connection with Hashem. Leman tira et Hashem. But now you've gone to a second Yirah. This is the second time in a matter of a few verses it mentions Yirat Shamayim. Why? The first Yirah is fear of punishment. So the lowest level of fear is punishment. The second time it mentions Yirah, now we've gone after we've fulfilled the mitzvot, after we've gone to a point where we're not going right or left, after we've gone to a point where we're teaching it to everyone we can, now we've gone to the next level. What's the next level? Yirat HaRomimut. We are fear of His majesty. Highest level of Yirat Shamayim. Once you've gone to the highest level of Yirat Shamayim, then you'll be able to teach it to your son and your grandson, and this is going to give you olam haba. And now you could be sure that I could say you're considered my lover. Then you could say Shemá Yisrael. Then you could say ve'afta Hashem Elokecha, because you really loved me. Why? You fulfilled my Torah. You didn't just sing a song on stage. You didn't just make a music video. You fulfilled it. That's how you get to ve'afta Hashem Elokecha. It's not just a start ve'afta. You don't get ve'afta. Like we said, Chazal explains, lowest level of fear of Hashem is basic. Basic level is fear of punishment. Highest level of fear of Hashem which is extraordinary to reach to begin with. Alvai Aleinu, we reach to that level. That's fear of His majesty, fear of His extraordinary, how He created everything, fear of hurting the relationship. And only after you've gotten there, then you could say you're beginning to love Hashem. Beginning to love Him. What's the source? The source is Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu in Parashat Vayera, which means both he saw, to see something, but it's spelled the same way as and he feared. Vayera means he saw and also and he feared. So after Avraham Avinu took his only son, his only real son, Yitzchak Avinu, that he waited for him 100 years, that Hashem promised him that this son is going to create endless amount of descendants for you, like the stars. Bring him as a korban, kill him. Avraham Avinu hurries up to fulfill the mitzvah. Hashem says, bring my son as a korban. That's what I do. Why? I fear Hashem. So he brings him as a korban, and right before he's about to kill him, there's a voice from Shamayim says, don't touch him. Why don't touch him? Now I know you fear Hashem. Not don't touch him because you love me. Not don't touch him because he's a nice guy. Not don't touch him because I didn't mean it. Not don't touch him because it was just joking. No. Because now you passed the test where now I know, not before. Before, even though you had 10 other tests, and you passed all the tests with flying colors, you jumped into fire for me. You were willing to die for me multiple times. You did the Brit Milah. You did everything. But now I know you feared me. Now you got to the highest level of fear that could possibly be. Fear of the majesty of Hashem.
What do you say, fear?
Yir'ah.
Huh?
Yir'ah.
Yir'ah, yir'ah.
So he says, now I know you fear me. So if Hashem is giving Avraham Avinu the compliment of all compliments after he's willing to sacrifice his only son, he's saying, now I know you fear me. This is a level we could aspire to be. So when today's world, when people say, oh, why are you teaching fear? Why are you teaching fear? The simple answer is, I want to be like Avraham Avinu. I want to have the fear that Hashem admires. Where does it say that Hashem likes fear? In Gemara. In Gemara, in Masechet Brachot, I believe. Yeah, Masechet Brachot, page 32, I think. 31, 32.
Masechet Brachot?
Yeah, Masechet Brachot, page 33b. It says, Rabbi Chanina said in the name of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, אין לו להקדוש ברוך הוא בבית גנזיו אלא האוצר של יראת שמיים. The Holy One, blessed is He, has nothing in His treasure house other than a store for the merit of Yirat Shamayim, of fear of heaven. Meaning, he's all of the treasure. He used to have he has a treasure chest, and he says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, I have the greatest treasure. It's called Shabbat. Tell Am Yisrael, I'm going to give it to them. So he took Shabbat out of the treasure. He gave it to us. Now he says, the only thing he has in his treasure chest is the merit for the few that fear him. Anyone that fears him, that's the treasure. Where do we learn it from? We learn it from Isaiah chapter 33, 6. Isaiah chapter 33, 6, it says, Yirat Hashem I otzaro. The fear of Hashem, that is his treasure. That's a verse in the Torah. Chapter 33, verse 6 in Isaiah. So you see here is that Hashem himself is saying, Yirat Shamayim, that's my treasure. That's what I have. So when someone is teaching against Yirat Shamayim, you're going against God in more than one way.
I've heard enough. New arrival screams echoing through the hallway to know that this ain't good. Once they pass them through the infierno, they don't come back. It's enough to make you go crazy.
Do not think we fear you, Spirit. We know your power is born of evil. This is your last night in the land of the living. You understand me, malevolent demon?
There was a rich family that lived here called the Hetheringtons, and unfortunately, their daughter passed away of a heart attack inside the house. Basically, they were so devastated that they reached out to people claiming to be psychic mediums. They actually weren't psychic mediums. They opened up a total of 11 portals inside this house and invited spirits and entities from all different kinds of dimensions.
Well, I think there are certain pieces of evidence that there is an afterlife.
Resurrection of the dead is affirmed pretty clearly in the Talmud and the Midrash.
To be honest with you, to give this lecture is a nightmare. If it was up to me, I wouldn't. There's going to be some graphic details.
This place is a maze.
That person after death went to a place called Sheol.
This is by far the largest near-death experience study that has ever been conducted.
People go to a place and they experience weird things. And sometimes they actually will see a character of some type. Well, where did that come from?
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
They may describe feeling profoundly peaceful, seeing a bright, warm, welcoming light. Some people describe watching doctors and nurses working on them with incredible accuracy.
Next thing I knew, I was above my body watching the operation.
How long did you feel like you were gone?
I went to a place of timelessness. And so what that means, it could have been a second, could have been 5 minutes. I don't know.
Can you imagine waking up from your sleep and not being able to move?
As I'm lying there, I realized that there's an evil presence next to me.
Do you believe that angels, demons exist?
Holy shit, dude, get out of here! Oh my god, dude!
Strange things keep happening. Bizarre nightmares, as if I'm on fire.
Whoa, what the hell is this? Man, I've got bad chest pain.
Satan's Hollow is what it's called, the portal to hell.
Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up.
to do is called claromancy, the art of throwing lots or throwing bones.
2,000 years of experience passed down, recorded, of how demons work.
God has them all on a leash, and he lets the leash go enough to let them tempt us, because that's what makes us spiritually stronger.
I'm trying to be as graphic as possible so you understand what we're talking about.
It's your ticket to reality. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to immortality.
Is there an afterlife? Is there a
It's
God?
the type of information that can keep you away from the Yitzhak.
What happens to us after we die?